Today, we're going to learn a show not tell strategy where you can use your five senses to make your sentences much more juicy. Let's get a telling sentence on here. So, this telling sentence says, "It was a hot day." So, since I have this on here, you know what the weather is like. But that's kind of a boring sentence. It was a hot day, and that's it. That's all you're going to give me on a whole page or a whole paragraph? We want this writing to be like a third grade writing, a big kid, adult writing, even, not a kindergarten sentence. So, let's see how we can really zhuzh this up and make it spicy. We're going to do that by adding in what would you see if it was a hot day. So think about if you walked outside and it's hot, what would you see? Maybe you'd see that the sun is shining. What else would you see if it was hot? Well, I know when I go outside and it's hot that sometimes my face gets red and I might even start sweating. And you can add a lot more things that you would see, but let's keep moving through our five senses. What's another one of your five senses? See, hear. So what would you hear on a hot day? That one might seem tricky, but think about where might you be on a hot day? And then what would you hear if you were there? If I'm at the pool, I might hear kids splashing. And then I can't help but think when it's hot outside, sometimes there are people going around neighborhoods trying to sell you ice cream. So, what might you hear if they're trying to sell ice cream? So, maybe you'd hear the ice cream truck music. And again, you can add a lot more than what we have here. We've only put two for each one, but let's keep going. See, here, another one of the senses would be smell. What might you smell if it was a hot day? I know sometimes in the summer, my family has barbecues and you can smell like the food on the grill. Or if you go back to the splashing at the pool idea, you might smell like the chlorine of the pool water. I added in a couple other ones. Burning asphalt is like the blacktop out on the playground. And when it gets really hot, sometimes it has this very strong smell to it. And then also, I know when we come in from recess, sometimes we've got sweaty kids and that has a certain smell. Those smells, all four of those remind me of smells I might smell if it was a hot day. So we have see, hear, smell. What about taste? What might you taste on a hot day? We could go back to food if you were grilling. I know I keep saying sweaty, sweaty. What might you taste if you are sweaty? So I added in salty sweat because sometimes when you drip sweat, it gets on your lips and it has this salty taste. You also might taste the grilled foods or the ice cream if you wanted to add those in. And then what is the last sense that we haven't put on here? See, hear, smell, taste, touch. So what might you touch that would tell you that something is hot? Do you ever get in the car and touch something and you know it's hot? So I wrote the burning metal of a seatbelt. So sometimes when you get in your car and you try to buckle your seatbelt, it is really hot, or the seats might be hot. But it also isn't just about touch. You can also talk about what you would be feeling. So if I go outside and it's a hot day, the sun is going to be shining on me, and maybe my head feels hot. The heat of the sun, I can feel that warmth go across me. So now that we have all of these ideas for it was a hot day, we can put them into a sentence or to several sentences, even a paragraph, to show how it was a hot day. Now, we are not going to do that by saying every single thing. That would sound crazy. So we wouldn't say the sun was shining, there were red and sweaty faces, we were splashing in the pool, and the ice cream truck was playing its music. There was food on the grill. I smelled chlorine and the burning asphalt. There were also sweaty kids. There was salty sweat, grilled foods, and ice cream to eat. The burning metal of my seatbelt was hot, and the warmth of the sun was hot too. That sounds ridiculous. You're not going to do that. But you can pick a couple of these and make a really nice showing sentence. Let's see what that might look like. So here are a few ways you can take this information and turn it from a telling sentence to a showing sentence. Here is an example of a showing sentence. I'm going to go from "it was a hot day" to telling you about it. The sun was shining, keeping us red, sweaty, and uncomfortable. You can tell we're hot because the sun was shining. We're red, sweaty, and uncomfortable. That's what we would look like and feel like. So that is one way you can take a telling sentence and turn it into a showing sentence where there's only one. But you can also turn it into several showing sentences. Instead of just one, now I'm going to do a couple. I got in my car, was careful when I touched the burning metal seatbelt. I felt like I was in an oven. So that was two sentences that turned from "it was a hot day" to showing you that it was a hot day. And depending on what my story was about, this one I changed it to being in my car and showing you that it was a hot day based on being in my car. Now I'm going to take it up another notch. Instead of one showing sentence, instead of two showing sentences, I'm going to show you a showing paragraph. So this one, I took a bunch of these examples and I put them into a long paragraph that really paints a nice picture like a movie in your mind. So I took from "it was a hot day" to "I took my class outside for recess. As soon as we walked outside, I felt the warmth of the sun all over my body. I immediately started sweating. My students happily ran around the playground, not seeming to mind the burning slide or stinky asphalt." Remember, it's a blacktop. "One look at their red, sweaty faces showed me they are happy to be outside." So we know that it wasn't a warm day, it wasn't a cold day, it was hot because of all those fancy little details we added in, such as warmth of the sun and sweating and burning slides, stinky asphalt, red and sweaty faces. All of those details show me that it was a hot day. So start thinking about how you can add the five senses into your writing so that you can show, not tell.